Okay, let's continue our discussion on percent. So in the last video we talked about what it meant to say, let's say we have 500 students, let's say 525 students, and we do a survey and find that let's say 15% are math majors. What does that mean? How many of those students are math majors, if 15% are math majors? So in our last video we talked about percent is really, it rewrites something over 100. That means 15% means 15 out of 100 of these students are math majors. 15 out of every 100 are math majors. And what we want to do is to set up a proportion and figure out if 15 over 100 equals n over 525. That is, we want to set up this proportion, and this will determine the number of students that are actually math majors. If we know 15 out of every 100 are math majors, this will give us the number out of all 525. So to do this, we should be familiar with cross multiplying. And we get that, what, 100 times n equals 15 times 525. Okay? We want to get that number n by itself. To get it by itself, divide out by the 100. Okay? And here the 100s cancel almost. N equals, and 15 divided by 100. Let's send the 100 into the 15. Let's see. Clear. 15 divided by 100 equals 0.15. 0.15 times 525. And we get that n equals 0.15 times 525. 78.75. 78.75. That's an interesting number. 78.75 of our students are math majors. Anyway, I was just throwing some numbers out there. Okay, so I did this way for a particular reason. You might say, well, why did I divide the 100 into 15 there? Why didn't I divide it into the 525 instead? And there's a particular reason I did. I wanted you to see this. That is, to find 15% of 525, I simply change my percent to what we talked about, 15 out of 100. That is 0.15. Scoot the decimal place over 2 times and multiply. That always works. That is 15% of 525 is, rewrite 15 as there's a decimal place there, rewrite it as 0.15, move the decimal place over 2 times, and multiply. And that always gives you, that is always how you find percentage. You don't have to set up the proportions. I think students find these more difficult. Do it once here to show you that what we actually really do is just multiply by the decimal form of the percentage. So that is going to be my 78.75. Let's do another example here. Find 32% of let's say 176. Okay? Find 32% of 176. I simply change this thing into its decimal form. There's a decimal there, scoot it over 2 times, and that means 32 out of 100. That's 0.32 times 176. We always multiply. We turn our percentage into a decimal and multiply, and that gives me the percent of whatever I'm looking for. 32% of 176 is 0.32 times 176. Get out the calculator. Clear. 0.32 times 176 equals 56.32. Okay. Maybe one more. Let's find. Let's say 89%. 89% of let's say of 150. So to find 89% of 150, I rewrite 89 as 89 100ths, and that is 0.89. That is, I take my decimal place and move it over 2 spots and get 0.89 times 150 and 0.89 times 150, 133.5. And that's going to conclude this video on percent. We're going to continue this percent conversation though in future videos.